Time now to head over to the kitchen and check in with ABC7 Culinary Director Judi Gallagher. Judi, you having alligator bites today?
Gee, you know, I think I'll pass on that one, but I think if we did, that would feed about 100 people at that size, right? Today we're going to focus on salmon. Okay, Memorial Day's over. We've all got to get healthy. Eating salmon 3 times a week, get all those omegas in there. It's going to be so good. I'm going to show you my very favorite fish cookbook that John Scalzi just ordered online. I've kept this in my repertoire for years by Rick Moonen. We're going to make some caramelized leeks. That's going to be the base of the salmon dish, and we're going to make a simple anchovy butter. So stay with me throughout the hour. We're going to bring you some delicious pan-seared salmon with anchovy butter on caramelized leeks.
Now let's get back to the kitchen where ABC7 Culinary Director Judi Gallagher is cooking up something tasty for lunch as always. Judi?
And healthy. So we have some leeks caramelizing and some olive oil. If you want to put in a couple anchovies with the leeks and let it reduce down, that's going to give you plenty of salt, but we're again marrying flavors because we're going to tap it with a little anchovy butter. Okay, so the caramelized leeks, I like to take about an hour to do them. I watch them, conduce it down, season it. Now let's get to the salmon. You know, the Copper River salmon is running right now, that wild salmon, but it's going to be thinner than your average Atlantic salmon or Scottish salmon. So be aware, timing-wise, how you're going to cook it. Notice I have 2 pans of salmon already in the pan. This one is about the same size, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and add it to. Flesh side down, and then I'm going to cook it with the skin on. The skin will peel off. I'm going to throw the skin back in the pan because that just tastes so delicious. You can get sushi like that with crispy salmon skin. I love it. This piece is smaller, so what I want to see is thinner, but here's that little fat trim right there. You want to trim that off if you're having guests. I'm going to leave it on because I love to have that. It kind of melts as it goes down. So we're basically going to look at this to cook for about, I'd say about 4 minutes per side. I have the oven jacked up to 400 degrees, just in case I need to put it in just for a few minutes. Now, when you're cooking fish, you want to do both sides, okay? So get that salt and pepper on both sides, and you also rub it with olive oil. I usually do about 10 minutes before it goes in the pan. It can go up to 20 minutes. It's going to make it more moist and actually adds that cholesterol, which is what we're looking for. So there, our first piece is looking pretty good. It's starting to brown. And I think this was the last piece. So it may not, yep, that guy needs just a moment or two. Now it's the time that you have to make sure that you have a stick of softened butter. Do not use margarine. Margarine is actually more chemicals and it's worse for your body. So a little butter, we're only going to put a little bit of this in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to soften the butter, and then you can use either, depending on how you like your anchovy taste. If you want a more mild taste, you're going to use the kind that are in the can. I actually bought the kind that have that little caper in it too, because I think it adds really great flavor. Or what you can do is get a tube of anchovy paste. Now, you ever wonder why they have that little piece in the back? That's to poke the hole in the anchovy paste. I like a really intense flavor, so I'm going to use both. You put this in the refrigerator, the anchovy paste, when you're done. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this around. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator so it just starts to firm up. And then when I come back, let's go ahead and add some lemon and lemon rind. This is going to be really good. Okay, so when I get back, we'll have the fish just about done, ready to set the plate and finish up our anchovy butter. It's easy and it's light and it's good for you.
Let's head back over to the kitchen and see how lunch is going with ABC7 Culinary Director Judi Gallagher, who's cooking very healthy today.
That's right. No added chemicals here, and I love that movement, so keep it going, all you restaurants out there. So our leeks have caramelized beautifully in the last hour or so. You want to add a touch of white wine, you can. Just go very light on it because you don't want to bring out any extra flavor or make them go too soggy. We're looking for texture. Now let's get to the salmon. Remember I told you that we'll peel the skin off if you want just before we serve. Now see how crispy it is? That's going to go back in the pan because that's mine and I want to get that crispy skin on it. Now let's get back to the anchovy butter. So we have the soft butter. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and then we're going to add a zest of lemon. Oh, about a half a lemon will do. What I usually make is a double on any compound butters like anchovy butter. And you can definitely put some black olive paste in this, but since I don't like olives, odd for a chef not to like, but I don't. So I showed you how I added the anchovy paste. I'm gonna add a few more anchovies because I love this. And to me, you can never have enough anchovies. And I'm gonna put an anchovy right over on that salmon, okay? Then we're gonna take this butter, just a small spoonful, and we're gonna put it right on top while it's still hot so it can melt down as the salmon's coming off that great heat. You're gonna get that melted down, it's gonna be wonderful. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the back of this spoon, and I just thought I'd bump it up a little bit with a teeny bit of caviar. That's gonna add that saltiness again like the anchovy, so go very light on seasoning your fish. Now as promised, I said I would tell you my favorite fish cookbook, and this is it. It's Rick Moonan's Fish Without a Doubt. And I recommend it for anybody that loves to eat the majority of their meals as fish and loves a great cookbook. It's going to empower you to cook fish properly, and the key is not to overcook it. So if you have this cookbook and some anchovy paste and some great salmon, you're going to have a great dish. I'll be back in just a few minutes to feed John Scalzi this delicious salmon dish.